Mo Salah invents a new skill, Chelsea exit the title race, and a merry shitmas for Manchester United as we head into an equally unhappy new year. Welcome back to Hatewatch, where football fans come to watch the world burn. I'm your host, thefatasian. And before we get started, go ahead, follow me on Instagram at thefatasianofficial. Need to get my numbers up to impress the host. But first, I'd like to wish all you guys Happy New Year. I'm not gonna lie, 2024 was kind of buns for me. So here's hoping to a slightly less shit 2025. I've given up on saying that this year is gonna be my year, because at the end of the year, I look back and I'm like, no. It really wasn't my year. So this year, all I'm hoping for, all I'm asking for to manifest is a slightly less shitty year than the year prior. Not asking for much. That way, at the end of the year, I can lie to myself. I can be like, okay, yeah, that happened. Yes, you have no bitches or healthcare, but you did lose 10 pounds this year, and that's progress, you know? But anyway, enough of my seasonal depression. Let's talk about something slightly less depressing. Survival of the shittest. Ipswich go big game hunting and miraculously get their first Premier League win at home in 22 years. Let me know in the comments down below who watching this is actually under the age of 22.
What do you mean by that?
And even more impressive, they did it by taking down Chelsea, who, ever since they self-proclaimed that they were not in the title race, have since then made good on their word and politely excused themselves from said title race. Tidy work from Maresca. You gotta respect a manager who calls his shot and actually goes through with it. But let us not forget who started their downfall, as Sean Dyche struck again, holding Chelsea to a draw last week before holding Man City to a draw midweek, and then losing to Nottingham Forest, which essentially allowed Nottingham Forest to leapfrog Chelsea into second place in the table. And this is all part of Sean Dyche's master plan. From arsonist to firefighter, from magical escape lizard to now agent of chaos. And his legend continues on. Long live Sean Dyche. Wolves has risen. Yeah, they've risen from the dead. Miraculously, after the worst start that they could possibly imagine to the season, they will start 2025 above the drop zone. They did it by embarrassing Manchester United, then 3-0ing Leicester, before being gifted a point in stunning, classic Spursy fashion. Big Ange, no boring games policy holds firm heading into the new year, and may it never die. Just watch this sweeping movement by Spurs. Liquid, aesthetic, prime flow state football. Only for it to end by having two of your own players run into each other. This is football heritage. Oh, and Man City got their first win since Halloween. Yeah, I'm disappointed too. No one wanted this streak to end, and honestly, no one wants to hear about them winning, so let's move on. And move on we shall to some actually good football. Let's talk about Liverpool. They are just a greedy little pack of raptors with an apex predator as their alpha. Mo Salah is the best player in the world right now, and he and Liverpool have blessed us over the holiday season with 14 goals over their last 3 games. And not even the mighty Mo Salah Christmas pick curse could stop them this time, as they have just been pillaging the countrysides and cities of England. And not even their capital city is safe. A 5-0 savaging that could have easily been 7 or 8-0. And Liverpool made it look like an exhibition match. Just look at this fucking pass angle from Trent Alexander-Arnold. You are taking a piss with this one. No fucking way. This is AI. And that wasn't even the most impressive thing that happened in this match. Mo Salah did a skill that I still can't wrap my head around. Look at this. Look at what he's doing to this professional. A full-grown man who trained his whole life and dreamed of being upon the world stage on television, showcasing his talents. And what does he get for it? He gets to be immortalized as the man that Mo Salah absolutely ravaged. No regard for this man's pride or dignity, as the Egyptian does what I can only describe as wave dashing past his defender, shoutouts to all my Smash Bros, and then puts it on a silver platter. The game is indeed back, at least in the Premier League. Right now, we have the best player in the world in our league, in an age where parity is reaching an all-time high in the most competitive league in the world. No easy games in England, right? But here comes this fat slut from the land of windmills, and he has Liverpool absolutely decimating this league, and he's making it look easy, all the while playing hyper attacking, entertaining football. Are you not entertained? Isn't this what we asked for? After years of just tiki-taka, possession, just draw the game out. They can't score if they don't have possession, slowly tiki-taking you to sleep. Nah, fuck that. Balls to the wall, counter-attacking, stick a finger in your butt and hope everything goes well football. I love it. As much as I hate to admit it, this is far more entertaining than when Man City was bossing the league. I try to look at these moments and analyze week by week as if they were small time capsules. I like to think of myself as fairly balanced, and I want to see things as they will be remembered in history. And this is a magical, near supernatural run by Liverpool right now. You know that one great line from Moneyball? And Brad Pitt's just, now how can you not be romantic about baseball? You watch this skill by Mo Salah and you ask yourself, well, how can you not be romantic about football? And the one thing that is missing, though, is a close rival. Man City dipping out didn't help. Arsenal's hanging in there just barely, and Chelsea have since excused themselves. But on January 1st of 2025, before the Arsenal game, Nottingham Forest was the closest team to Liverpool in the table. My point is, there is just some fantastic football being played in the Premier League this year, if you're not playing for Manchester United. Speaking of which, let's talk about the factory of sadness. Manchester United versus Newcastle. I'm going to start this by giving flowers to a young man. Alexander Isak is on the purple patch of his career right now. Dubbed the next Zlatan, this tall Swede came from the famed Borussia Dortmund Academy before cutting his teeth in Spain. The traits he possessed, the height, pace, and technical ability, the kid looked like he was built in a video game. This grouping of attributes had scouts drooling over him as a prospect. But for all his tangibles, he didn't exactly light La Liga on fire. So many questioned if it was wise for Newcastle to gamble on potential alone to lead their line entering their new Saudi era. Bring the club transfer fee for a reported $63 million. That is an expensive lotto ticket, but 3 years later, it's looking like a wise investment, as he finished last season with 21 league goals, only trailing behind Cole Palmer and Erling Haaland, and now this season, he scored in his last 6 games, including this one. It only took 4 minutes. A whipped-in ball found the Swede unmarked in the 6-yard box. He was the only player who jumped in the 6-yard box. It was embarrassing. Truly horror show defending for Manchester United. Ruben screaming on the touchline, and 14 minutes later, it's nearly an identical goal. A ball whipped in from the left finds a towering Joelinton, but I will say this time, a Manchester United defender actually did decide to jump. Unfortunately, that defender was Sandro Martinez, who's 5'5". So Joelinton basically used him as a step stool as he went ahead and doubled Newcastle's lead. And you just see it all around. Ruben, Manchester United players, all just hanging their heads in defeat, and not even 20 minutes has passed by. 33 minutes in, Joshua Zirkzee gets the yank, and he is met with a cacophony of Old Trafford boos. It is fucking brutal for this poor 23-year-old. And he couldn't take it. He basically grabbed his jacket from the bench and ran straight to the tunnel. I don't blame him. He's not completely the reason why Manchester United are shit. The team is rotten to the core. This poor kid was made the scapegoat and had to take the abuse from a fan base that was really unleashing their frustration that has been built up over the past 10 years. And I can't blame them either. Those first 30 minutes of that game might have been the worst 30 minutes of entertainment I watched in all of 2024. And I watched Madam Web. The game would continue, and it was just brutal. A brutal bludgeoning for 90 minutes on a cold, wet night. The only punishment Man United delivered to Newcastle was Matthijs de Ligt blasting Lewis Hall in the nuts. Remember what I said about 2025 not being my year? This is the same energy I'm taking my Man United fandom into 2025. I don't need this year to be our year. I just need it to not be as bad as the previous year. But guess what? For the past 10 years, it's only gotten worse every year. I mean, honestly, where have we gotten better since last year? We found Kobe Manu. That was pretty nice. Won an FA Cup. I don't know how the fuck we did that. And we have a new young manager who was exciting for 2 weeks. Yeah, he's having a rough introduction to the league. Whatever Arne Slot is experiencing right now, the exact opposite is true for one Ruben Amorim. And I think we're all relatively sympathetic to his cause. I think we're now more sympathetic to Erik ten Hag as well. And Ruben will at least get the summer transfer window, but if things just keep on going like this, like legitimately, we're talking about we might be in a relegation battle. And yeah, he's new. They're going to give him time, but by the end of the season, people are going to start asking questions. Were the shoes too big? Can his system actually work in the Premier League? I don't know. It's going to get rough for him. And he's got to change his body language, like the whole sulking, the head down. It's just not a good look. But it's tough. I mean, like, what does he have to be happy about? What does he have to be stoic about? Absolutely nothing is going right now. And I think what people are now waking up to is maybe it's the players. Maybe we have to face facts that we have spent over $1 billion fucking pounds just to have one of the most sorry rosters in the Premier League. We stroll out Casemiro and a dead guy as our midfield against Newcastle. That's what $1 billion gets you. A dead guy and a washed guy. And our new ownership is just pinching pennies wherever they can, just cutting staff wherever they can. I thought y'all were rich. What happened to sparing no expense? And so, what you get in a Newcastle versus Manchester United game at the end of 2024 are two very different teams heading in equally different directions. We see one former glorious empire now in perpetual descent, while another is slowly rising from their darkest days and has the inevitability of Saudi Arabia behind them. And you tell me where you think these two teams are going to be 5, 10 years from now. Which two of these teams looks like they have the possibility to become a true footballing world superpower again. And as another listless, lost night faded into the 85th minute, the Old Trafford faithful headed for the exits early again. And with that, they exited 2024, hoping that next year, maybe next year, will be better. Except it won't, because our first game of 2025 is at Anfield away. Yeah, just fucking shoot me. Just fucking do me like Luigi. 2 in the back of the head while I'm not looking. God damn it. I'll see you next week. Yeah, fuck 2024, guys. Hope your 2025s are better. And as always, shout out to my patrons, who are the only thing that is not depressing in my life right now. Shout out to the newest member of the GOAT tier, Neon Bar. Thank you. One of the few good things that happened to me over the holiday season. Of course, shout out to all the OG GOATs. We got Elm, Robert Matai, Peter Barr, the Fat Austrian, Valente Vasquez, Movadoc, and of course, the double GOAT, Sandra Jeremy. Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you to Alex and Lewis for helping me edit this video. If you guys want to hire them, their contacts will be in the description down below. And yeah, Happy New Year. I'll see you next week.